star Beth Cunningham coaching Missouri State. She had to replace 5 starters from last year's team that won 26. Missouri State coming in at 22-12. Stephen F. Austin at 25-9. And we are underway from Austin, Texas. And the first jump shot on the way and a misfire by Dominguez, who came in averaging 13 a game.
Well, both teams playing well. Stephen F. Austin, they've won 10 out of 11. Missouri State, 7 out of their last 8.
For Mo State, their starting lineup presented by Capital One. They've got a big and Lainie Douglas, who gets 14 a game. Washington, 8.6 rebounds a game. She was named to the Conference USA All-Freshman team. It's a very talented group. Going to get a jump shot in the air by James, who doesn't do a whole lot of scoring. A great defender. A rebound, the stick back won't go, and a fight for that. It'll stay on this end with the possession arrow.
Obi, it's a Missouri State team against the Stephen F. Austin. Pretty much a 2-3 zone in the half court.
Mo State very rarely gets a 3 in the air, and a nice pick on the play. The turnover forced by the Lady Jacks. On the drive, a little one-hander by Perry won't fall. So nothing going down early here in this first quarter. Douglas trying to get in close, round it up.
They can't afford for this young lady to get in foul trouble. Not a lot of depth across this front line for the Lady Bears.
We talk about Missouri State being a little bit different than your average Division I team shooting-wise, because they only get about 14 three-pointers in the air per game.
Yeah, they only make 4. It's very important for them to get to the free throw line. They are 11th in the nation, Missouri State, making 16 a game.
Taylor Walker getting inside, the 5'8 senior. 2-2 tie, choppy start for both. Bekemeier inside, draws the foul.
Absolute superstar at Republic High School, just outside of Springfield. All-time leading scorer. Grew up wanting to be a Lady Bear.
Well, Missouri State just had a terrific run in the Conference USA Tournament to win it in their first year in the league. He's in the stands. He's also Leonard Bishop. He's in the stands here tonight to watch his son coach. He had an amazing 40-year career. Great ball movement, and in time, Gardner. But she is down and writhing in pain and grabbing at that ankle. She's the one who just made that shot.
Ferrier's had a heck of a freshman year. Leading shot blocker in the Southland Conference, talking about 2 in purple. And she's going to have major minutes now at that 5 spot.
Dribble down. Bekemeier will swish that one in. Just named Conference USA Tournament MVP.
So good with that shot fake. You got to run her off the line. She got the side steps.
As she goes, that's how the Lady Bears are going to go tonight and in this tournament. Roseby with the drive. Gets bottled up. And a turnover as she travels with it.
Very well coached defensive team under Beth Cunningham.
Washington will turn to fire, get a good look, follows her own miss. Inside, can't hit that one either. And it's Bekemeier there on the spot to lay it in and put Missouri State on top 8-4. Just lost 2 points because of a scoring change on a shot clock violation.
Well, if that Duck had a voice in the timeout, and I'm sure the Duck was talking about, we got to start taking care of the ball. Already 4 turnovers for Stephen F. Austin, and it's just that's not what you want to do against this Missouri State team. Obi, they really struggle to score. So, man, don't gift it to them with turnovers.
Kaylin Kidd, nice feed downstairs for the bucket. And a good passer led the Southland in assists with 5 a game.
Really good 2-man game. Ferrier, the true freshman, quick athlete.
And bounced in by Lainie Douglas, who gets 14.6 rebounds a game. They need her more involved, but a 10-4 lead for Missouri State and a tough drive again. That will lead to a foul.
It's hard to zero in on one player for Stephen F. Austin because, again, 5 kids average double figures. They can all go get one on you.
Scored the last 6 points. She would be named to the all-tournament team. So after that nasty injury on the scooter, she's come back strong. Nearly stolen away midcourt. It will be picked off. Taylor Walker on the drive will lay it in, turning that quickly into points.
They get that pressure defense set again. It's a 2-2-1 press.
Bekemeier gave up the dribble. Hopkins up top. Looking for someone to bounce it to, and finally does get it to Douglas. trying to use her size inside. She'll draw the foul that year in 2022.
Think about how great that performance was for Jackie Stiles. 41 points in that win against Duke. Still 20-something years later. There are some talented players this year that could eclipse that 40-point mark.
Winner to take on the powerhouse Texas Longhorns. Kemp on the drive and denied by Douglas. And they'll get it back, but it, of course, never got to the rim, so 8 to get off a shot. Perry will launch. Got a good look, but couldn't hit it.
Well, they rely on the 3 ball, Stephen F. Austin. Coming in making about 9 a game, 37%. A big part of who they are.
Douglas, another touch. Left it short. Second effort by Bekemeier. Douglas had given up on the play and started back to midcourt after she missed a shot, and a foul here. And Bekemeier to the line, 84% there. She's a 1,000-point career scorer. And we'll drop that one in, another one coming.
Ask her who taught her to shoot the basketball, and she said it's actually Molly Miller, the current head coach at Arizona State. She said, I went to one of her basketball camps when I was little. My parents then.
Here's Kemp using the screen. Shot clock down to 8. Almost threw it away. Midcourt the save back to Roseby. Shot clock's down to 3 now. She will give it up. Here comes Dominguez and short with it.
Boy, a defensive clinic by Missouri State. They are switching high and hot. They're talking to the ball from behind the action. Really well done.
Good ball movement here to Bush. And drains it from three-point land.
I think she's a tough little cover, man. Only 5'3" out of St. Louis, but a small, good shooting point guard. 21 made threes now on the year.
Maybe their best shooter. And that spin will not land in the net. Dominguez with the miss. And now Missouri State in the closing minutes of the first quarter with a chance to really get a grip on this thing. And that's exactly what's happening.
Better not let her have airspace.
Yeah, but plays a very big game. And now the Lady Jacks of Stephen F. Austin, they need an answer. They need a hot hand, and it's not coming on that shot by Traylor Walker. Second effort not there. Another loose ball. Bekemeier coming out of the pack with it. And the Lady Bears of Missouri State. Oh, the momentum swished in by Faith Lee. An 11-0 run.
Well, their defense has ignited their offense. They have a ton of confidence on the defensive end. You can get hot as an offensive team, Obi. You can also get hot in this tournament defensively. And that is the start for this team from Springfield.
Traylor Walker working hard. No, following her own miss. Yes. That's a shot they desperately needed. Bekemeier turns and drives but can't finish it. She battles for her own miss, kept it alive. And that shot won't go by Lee. 21-10 Missouri State. Traylor Walker right now taking a shot every time down and buries another one.
Traylor Walker, one of the best ones doing it.
Walker with 10. Lee with another miss. One and done on that possession. Dominguez finds some room and hits a three.
O.B. Leonard Bishop knows his team because he had a chance to call a timeout. He didn't do it. And look at this run because of it. It was 21-8. I thought he might call a timeout. Leonard Bishop, I'm sure in his gut he was thinking, do I call my second timeout in this game? But he trusted his kids to handle the pressure moments, and they responded. Boom, back-to-back turnovers, back-to-back makes. And a big lead is down to 3 just like that.
Yeah, and on a 10-0 run.
Yeah.
They were on the verge of starting to get blown away. And look at this, 10-0 over the last minute 19.
Obi, I've been there as a coach. Man, you trust your gut right now as much as analytics and what it says about timeouts. And man, big-time job by Leonard Bishop.
On the money by Brueggen, Kendal Brueggen, the 5'10 freshman. To make it 24-18. Out of the corner, the jumper. Nothing but net right there at the buzzer. Knocked down by Maiesha Perry. What an end to that quarter. 24-21 Missouri State.
We have played it all year, and this is a Stephen F. Austin team, O.B. They make threes and they make layups. That's who they are. Their defense triggers their offense, and they close out that quarter on a 13-3 run. Really well done by the Lady Jacks to fight their way right back into this game.
Second quarter underway. SFA was down 13 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And now a three-point game. A furious rally. And a foul inside. Ferrier will take the hits. And Ferrier at the line, 63%. We'll have another one.
The only time she missed was for sickness, and we asked her, where did that come from? Quickly, my mom's a teacher.
Mom's a teacher.
If we're having school, you're going. And
she also told you, I really, really like school.
Yeah, loves it.
Washington.
Good cut.
Nice dish. They run that play very effectively.
I just think you have to cut the backside of the pressure against Stephen F. Austin. They do kind of load to the ball a little bit, and you can get some good action on the backside if you do.
Roseby on top and knocks down another one. She's 35% out there.
Yeah, made 55 in the regular season. It's a very good shooting team from Nacogdoches, Texas.
Very big part of their attack. Washington will zip the pass. Bounce back inside to her, and she'll finish it.
Boy, back-to-back good off-ball cuts by Missouri State. Junior and senior year won a state championship. 15 in white's going to have a heck of a career as a college basketball player.
She'll knock that one down. Bekemeier didn't shoot it. Gave it up instead. Got that one down low to Douglas. She couldn't finish it. And now a whistle, and she'll commit the foul.
They need Lainie Douglas to play her 25, 26 minutes a game.
Ferrier in the paint, and nice touch. Will drop that one in. And Stephen F. Austin now with a 29-28 lead, their first lead tonight.
Doesn't she have good instincts for a freshman moving on the inside of that defense?
Yep.
I mean, 6'1", fast.
Smart shot by Washington. Nobody came up to guard. Traylor Walker off to Perry. A lot of traffic there, and Douglas again gets the deflection with a win over the #1 seed McNeese State, who beat them by 27 points just 10 days earlier.
Yeah, think about that. And then they come back and beat them in the conference finals. That's the kind of stories that get written in March, right? But she is so good. I love this kid. For a true freshman, her instincts.
Washington's open. Can't bury it. Perry with the rebound. A sophomore out of Norman, Oklahoma. And another double-figure scorer for the Lady Jacks. Traylor Walker backs it away. Under 7 minutes to go before halftime. Now she'll drive it inside and draw the foul.
It was a blow-by down that right side and just really good offense.
You made a great observation about Leonard Bishop deciding not to use a timeout.
Well, I thought it was great today, asking him who has had the most influence on you as a coach. He said, my dad, first of all, which was his high school coach. He was actually high school teammates. Leonard was with Chris Bosch. They were the national champions. Crowned Chris's year in high school ball. And then Nolan Richardson and Rick Pitino. And you look at how those two coaches coach the game. Pressure defense, athletes on at all 5 spots.
Boy, tough shot by Douglas, surrounded by purple.
I just think when you grow up the son of a coach and you've been around the game your entire life, those decisions within the game for a head coach right now, they just come from your gut. You've heard all the scenarios, all the dinner conversations, and it pays off.
Got to get a heave up there with the shot clock expiring.
If you're Missouri State right now, if you're Beth Cunningham, you come in, you're only averaging 65 points a game. You've got to choke the game back down. This can't get into the 70s. It does not favor Missouri State.
A great job by Washington to scoop up the loose ball and lay it in. And Cunningham's team back in front. So back and forth we go. Traylor Walker with a miss. One and done there. Bekemeier scored all 11 of her points in the first and misses here. So she has cooled off, and as you said, they are making sure she does. Back inside, trying to scoop and deflected out of play by the Lady Jacks. 4 other Division I players, 5'9" or shorter, can claim more rebounds than Bekemeier. 8 rebounds a game. Hopkins off to Washington. Shot clock to 7. Washington to the left hand, no. And scooped up once again by Bekemeier. Here's a shot right before the shot clock was expiring, and that won't drop. The second effort won't fall. Washington bottled up, gets it outside. And a fresh possession here for the Lady Bears. Kaemyn Bekemeier on the drive. Scoop shot 2.
I'm going to guess that Bekemeier gets 80% of every 50-50 ball that she has a chance to get.
Kemp driving, banks it in. Very quickly on the other end, Caitlin Kemp.
Well, you don't want to go against that Missouri State half-court defense for 40 minutes. So scoring your transition push.
A sloppy play as Missouri State throws it away. SFA trying to retake the lead. Here in Austin, Texas. Long one on the way, and that rattles home by Kajus.
Her senior year, Beth Cunningham, in the NCAA tournament, they came down here and beat the number three seed Texas on St. Patrick's Day. And she told me yesterday, she said, Jimmy, there was one row of green behind our bench, and the rest of the Irwin Center was filled with that Texas burnt orange. Not just at Notre Dame and women's college basketball when you start looking at all of her accomplishments.
Left South Bend as the #1 scorer at that time.
Propelled herself after playing into the coaching, take on the winner on Friday.
Just named first team All-American again. Scoop, that won't drop. Washington with the rebound. And Kendal Brueggen, a 5'10 freshman, was born in Germany. Quickly into the offensive zone. Here's Macy James, tied at 38. It's been a fascinating game to this point. Washington lets fly and knocks it down.
They just shoot it too good, Missouri State does.
Dominguez off for Perry. Perry to drive it. Tough shot, no. Brueggen will let it fly. And a rebound by Washington. Came right to her. Back up and in. She's tough to stop.
But Obi, that was kept alive by Bekemeier again.
Back outside. Roseby can't hit it.
Those hustle assists that coaches chart when they go back and break down a film.
Missouri State bringing Angel Scott, the senior, onto the floor. She transferred from Stephen F. Austin to Missouri State. She's going to launch a three and hit it.
There's too much airspace, and Leonard's going to use a timeout. He's frustrated right now with his defense. Yeah, I think since 1994, when the tournament expanded 23 times, it's been a 1 seed that won it, 5 times a 2 seed, and 3 times a 3 seed.
Traylor Walker with a hard drive inside.
Their strength of schedule and 58 in the country. I know they have AZ Fudd, Sarah Strong, 2 of the best 5 players in the country, but absolute great 3 weeks ahead of us in this women's tournament championship.
I agree. Very excited to get a look at the Longhorns.
Yeah.
The theft here by James, it really fell right into her arms. Texas is loaded. They are a serious threat to win the national championship. And we will see them coming up on Friday on this floor. Bekemeier bottled up and stolen away. Barrier with the thefts. Here's Dominguez way downtown.
Yeah, they call her Monty. That is Monty money.
In the final seconds, just 2 seconds separating the game and shot clock. Shot clock down to 7.
This is Bekemeier time for the most part.
Bekemeier looking to get a triple. That won't drop. Trying to heave this one. The Juice got it off, but it will fall short. And Missouri State will have the lead at halftime here in Austin, 47-43. Traylor Walker with 14. Who will come out of this one, the play-in game, to take on the #1 seed Texas? Coming up on Friday on this floor.
Missouri State dominated the glass in the first half. Up 23 rebounds to 10. They have 12 offensive rebounds. The issue is only 13 points scored off those offensive rebounds.
Faith Lee, little follow-away, but that didn't touch anything. So both sides with a miss right out of the gate as the second half is underway. And the follow is going to be up and good. Ferrier on the spot, the 6'1 freshman. Native of Frisco, Texas, just outside Dallas. Lainie Douglas with a touch out of the triple. Got it free to Lee. Nice adjustment to lay it in.
Well, you know, both coaches charted what went down in the first half. Missouri State was much better against the zone defense. 8 out of 14 from the floor. Just 8 out of 20 man-to-man. And expect Stephen F. Austin to know that stat as well.
Traylor Walker, 14 in the first half. Dominguez, quick release, but it's not there. The rebound comes free. A little bit lucky, and Roseby will lay it in.
Yeah, Roseby, just 6 double-figure rebound games on the year. Leading scorer. They run a lot of action for her.
Stephen F. Austin lost a big, and Shaw Gardner, the 6'3 sophomore, to a badly turned ankle in the first half. She will not return. 51-47, Missouri State. Off the turnover, here comes Bekemeier. James, Lee jumping into the lane. Bekemeier will back it out to Fire. They'll get another chance. Lee with a rebound. Back downstairs for Douglas. Oh, and an easy shot to make. Fouled on that one. She'll be headed to the line. With Lainie Douglas to the line. 15 points and 7 block shots. And the Conference USA title win against Louisiana Tech. Great game. SFA, good shooting and scoring team. 76 points a game. They can really get it rolling. Here's Kemp all the way through, but can't finish it.
Man, good action off the ball screen. Just trying to finish on the left side with the right hand. Oh, this is easy money for Bekemeier.
Yes.
Absolutely. She is so good running to that slot 45. All shooters understand what I'm saying. The rim just looks good. OB on that 45-degree angle coming off of that elbow.
She has a big night. Their chances go up in a big way.
They better find her again.
She'll bounce it here for Lee. Got it. Knocked down a two-pointer. It's going to force a timeout for Leonard Bishop and Stephen F. Austin.
Feeling them. Just too much airspace. I talked about it going to break. Playing in her rhythm. And that is a problem when you play against Kaemyn Bekemeier.
Turned over. Right into the hands of Brueggen. Now a scrum for that. And a tie-up on the play. Possession arrow will keep it on this end.
They made a couple of shots. Leonard Bishop got his defense pressure set. They scored off turnovers.
And a foul there.
Well, talking to Leonard Bishop today, one of the keys he talked about, defending without fouling. Missouri State, they get 16 points a game. They get there 22 times a game.
James finding the big. Douglas in close. Yes. The handoff for Kajus, the 5'6 sophomore. He needed some help, gave up the dribble. And that's going to go the other way.
Yeah, frustration. That's exactly what Missouri State can do to you. They can rattle you and get you sped up. Just a frustration foul.
Up ahead for Scott. Washington will kick it out. Great ball movement. Washington buries the shot.
Yeah, not good ball movement, OB. Great ball movement. Maiesha Washington, she said you can tell her one time and she's got it. Just a high IQ for a freshman.
Big-time freshman indeed, named to the Conference USA All-Freshman team. Shot clock to 6. On the drive, and a shot they really needed. The basket by Traylor Walker.
But they find those angles. They attack gaps well. And Beth Cunningham said the number one thing for us tonight with our defense, can we sit down and guard one-on-one?
Stolen away. Traylor Walker picks it up in midcourt.
This is their comeback offense, setting that press up.
Roseby, wild shot. In transition, here come the Lady Bears. What a fast break. That's a one-man fast break. Brueggen lays it in.
She just competes like crazy, does Kendal Brueggen. A tremendous job at avoiding that defense in transition. Sidestepped it. Put a little reverse spin on it.
Traylor Walker going one-on-one against everybody. 14-point lead here for Missouri State.
I do think Vic's team this year is better offensively than they've been the past couple of years. Not quite where they have been defensively, but Michigan, Vanderbilt, there's a bunch of them I think that can find their way to Phoenix in that Final Four.
It'd probably be right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just a handful more makes. Lee can't connect. Loose ball and gobbled up by Stephen F. Austin.
Just looking big picture right now, this women's tournament. I wonder if UConn is going to ever feel the pressure of unbeaten perfection. Haven't seen any sign of it. I heard Gino talking about it. He hasn't seen any sign of that from his kids. At some point, that could become a factor. They are, UConn, the #1 defensive efficiency team in the country. And AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong, as much as we talk about them offensively, they are stars on the defensive end as well.
Bekemeier underneath will drop in two. Gino Auriemma, what he has done in his amazing career, I still think a little bit underrated on a national scale. I think that's a guy who could have coached any darn sport he wanted.
I agree.
To national championship contention. Anything he wanted.
He's a lot like Pat Summitt at Tennessee. People said that Pat Summitt could have become the football coach, and she would have figured it out.
I think you're right.
She would have absolutely figured it out. Look at the stars that are going to find their way into the WNBA next year. AZ Fudd from UConn, Olivia Miles from TCU, Lauren Betts from UCLA, Flau'jae Johnson from LSU. Cody McMahon's been terrific at Ole Miss this year. They're all going to find their name called in the top 7 or 8, I think, in the next WNBA draft.
You mentioned Kim Mulkey and LSU. Never look beyond them. They get a chance to play in Baton Rouge again. Final couple of minutes.
She and I worked the WNBA playoffs together. There's a 3-man booth. I spent a week with her. I learned more ball from Pat Summitt, but more importantly, more about people, relationships, handling situations, the vision that she had as a leader.
Traveling violation. And her mom would cook.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Pat would be in the kitchen cooking. And you're like, Pat Summitt is cooking us dinner. Then she'd show you around the house. Well, this national championship, and this is when we went to the White House, and this Olympic gold medal was incredible. Laid up and in. Stephen F. Austin on a quick strike.
Well, we know how they get back in the game. They get the defense going. They create turnovers. Keep the game sped up. But this is a bucket maker right here, man. I'm so impressed with Kaemyn Bekemeier.
Dominguez back outside. Another one that won't fall for Kajus. She's usually very good beyond the three-point line.
Yeah.
But a couple of misfires there. Tapped out a play.
You got to remember, these officials, there's 116 of them selected to work that first 4 in first round out of 3,000 Division I NCAA officials. So it's an honor for them to be here. So it's the best of the best. And it's been a well-officiated game so far.
It has been. And they blow the whistle on a foul as Douglas lays it in. And Douglas back to the line. And completes a three-point play.
Talked about in the first half, they really emphasize playing with a championship chest. Don't open up, don't give angles.
Perry off the inbounds will lay it in.
Just a slick play by Perry. Actually started her career at Florida in the SEC. Took a couple of years off for kind of a self-help period in her life, but man, she is thriving right now.
Lee on the attack, deflected. Washington with the save. And knocked out a play. 43.7 to go.
One of 7 in the nation with at least 570 points, 270 rebounds, and does it at 5'9".
Turned over, a blocking foul.
A chance to go up double digits heading into the fourth quarter, but a long ways to go against a team that can strike this fast.
Kajus, the sophomore out of Dallas. AJ Kajus, who played on the SFA men's basketball team. And misses on number 2.
Yeah, AJ was a really good point guard. He was a senior and she was a freshman, and here we are.
Last seconds of the third quarter. Missouri State with the ball and the lead by 12.
They're sitting in that zone, and Bekemeier's the one you've got to keep an eye on.
Bounce feed downstairs. It goes out for Washington, and she connects again.
I say, man, dude, they move the ball well. Missouri State.
Right at the end of the third. Up top, long one on the way, and that won't drop for Kemp. That's how the third quarter comes to an end with Missouri State, the Lady Bears, sitting pretty.
Here's the problem. For UConn, AZ Fudd had 31. And Sarah Strong had 16 points and 20 rebounds. That's the issue with UConn. They absolutely have 2 of the best 5 players.
SFA 11 for 25 on layups and a turnover here. Back up top. Bush will give it up. Shot clock down to 5. Douglas, a lot of traffic, can't hit it. And Kaylin Kemp, outstanding passer. One of the better ones in the country is going to get 2 for herself here.
Yeah, she had a heck of a year for a freshman. Actually was a starter for most of the year, then had a leg injury that cost her the last 2 games to start.
Quickly on the other end, a basket by Kendal Brueggen. Great time of the year. Great time of the year. The men's and women's NCAA tournaments. Ferrier gets a block there. Douglas right back in her face. Perry, yes. Maiesha Perry with the basket, 77-65. She has 9 tonight. On the cut, Lee will lay it in.
I just don't know if Stephen F. Austin has comeback defense in him.
Traylor Walker trying to get the shot up, blocking a foul on the play.
I ended up being a Razorback, but at one point I wanted to be an Ichabod.
Little Jimmy Dykes dreamed
wanted to be an Ichabod.
of being an Ichabod.
Yeah.
You are childlike in so many ways. All the best ways, Jimmy. All the best ways.
Slowing this thing down. Not putting it on ice, but, man, making sure we get that ball moved side to side. Cut down on our turnovers.
Turnover trying to feed Douglas there. Traylor Walker will give it up all the way through, and a foul on the play.
In this tournament, doesn't matter if it's a 16 versus 16 or Vic Schaefer will wake up Friday morning thinking the same thing. It's just hard to put someone away.
And makes the pair.
You can run the baseline right now. The second cut normally what gets you open. Whoa.
Brueggen in the open floor, deflected away, and a little offense by accident right to Bekemeier.
How many times that former Wall stop the ball.
On the spin move, in close, finished by Roseby. To run a little bit of clock, ahead by 10.
Yeah, they just don't want live ball turnovers right now. You don't want a turnover at all, but if it is, make it a dead ball turnover, not a live ball. And keep it in 24 hands, you got a pretty good chance to close this thing in.
Shot clock down to 6. Lee with a fall away. Rebounded away by the Lady Jacks. They need a hot hand to cut in here. Just 3:15 to go. Long one coming, and that'll clang off by Roseby. Get a second chance, and up and in. As Maiesha Perry stayed with it at 6-1.
Yeah, where's the press? I thought the press would jump on him, and wait till the timeline. Almost got it.
James getting free out of there. Washington. Washington's had a very nice night as she'll turn and head to her right.
What a play.
Drop it in.
What a move by Washington.
And Stephen F. Austin to get it in.
Stay above the three-point line if you're Missouri State.
Dominguez way downtown, no. We'll get another opportunity, but precious seconds ticking away here for the Lady Jacks. Kemp will drive it. Got it up and made a layup, but they've missed a ton of those tonight. A timeout. That's Missouri State and Beth Cunningham.
An absolute coach on the floor, Beth Cunningham has in Kaemyn Bekemeier.
Trying to burn those fouls. They do it quickly. James this time.
Just a strong, tough, defensive-minded point guard.
She's dangerous around the ball. 16.6. She'll get another shot. And James makes the pair. Looked like a senior on those. Back to a 10-point lead. Kemp on the drive, the kick out. Traylor Walker can't finish. And another tie-up on the play. The possession arrow will go to Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, just clearly the more physical team was Missouri State tonight. And you don't always have to look at the numbers to come up with that analysis, but plus 49 rebounds to 30. Big story in this game.
Final seconds in for Perry. Left it short. And that's going to do it. That's going to be our final score tonight. Mo State moving on. They will take on Texas. They win the play-in game 85-75 is the final score. Their 4th straight.